What if I told you, the greatest love story you will ever live is not with someone else, but with the person you see in the mirror every single day? There was a time when I believed love only existed between two people, in stolen glances, in late-night conversations, in promises whispered under quiet skies. I thought love was something you find, something you chase, something that completes you when you feel incomplete. But I was wrong. Because the most powerful, the most life-changing love story, begins the moment you choose to believe in yourself. I remember standing alone, surrounded by noise, expectations, and silent judgments. The world felt like a place where everyone else had their story figured out, while mine felt unfinished, uncertain, almost invisible. And in that moment, I realized something painful. I had been waiting for someone else to believe in me, while I had never truly believed in myself. It felt like loving someone who never loved me back. That someone was me. Believing in yourself is not loud. It doesn't always come with confidence, applause, or instant success. Sometimes, it begins in the quietest moments, when you choose not to give up on yourself, even when every part of you wants to. It's like falling in love slowly. At first, you notice the small things. The way you keep going even when you're tired. The way your heart refuses to quit, even after disappointment. The way you still hope, even when hope feels fragile. And then, something changes. You begin to see yourself differently. Not as someone broken, but as someone becoming. Not as someone lost, but as someone searching with purpose. You start speaking to yourself with kindness instead of criticism. You start forgiving your past instead of punishing yourself for it. And that's when the love story begins. But just like any real love, it isn't always easy. There will be days when doubt creeps in like a shadow. Days when your mind tells you that you're not enough, not ready, not capable. Days when you compare your journey to others and feel like you're falling behind. But here's the truth, believing in yourself is choosing to stay, even on the days you feel unworthy of your own love. It's choosing to say, I'm not perfect, but I'm still worth believing in. Think about the strongest relationships you've ever seen. They survive not because everything is perfect, but because both people choose each other, again and again, even when it's hard. Now imagine giving that same loyalty to yourself. Imagine standing by your own side when you fail. Encouraging yourself when you're afraid. Trusting your voice when the world gets loud. Protecting your dreams when others don't understand them. That is the art of believing in yourself. It's not about becoming fearless, it's about moving forward even when fear is holding your hand. It's not about always winning, it's about refusing to quit on your own story. Because deep down, you are not someone who needs to be fixed, you are someone who needs to be understood by yourself. And the moment you start doing that, everything changes. Your confidence becomes quiet but powerful. Your decisions become stronger. Your heart becomes calmer. You stop chasing validation, and start building something real within yourself. You become your own safe place. And once you reach that point, the world can shake, people can doubt, situations can fall apart, but you will remain standing. Not because life is easy, but because your belief in yourself is stronger than anything trying to break you. This is not just a skill. It's not just motivation. It's a relationship. A relationship where you stop abandoning yourself. A relationship where you stop doubting your worth. A relationship where you finally say, I choose me. Because at the end of the day, the longest relationship you will ever have is with yourself. So don't treat it carelessly. Don't ignore it. Don't fill it with doubt and criticism. Instead, nurture it, protect it, grow it, fall in love with your own journey, your own strength, your own becoming. Because when you truly believe in yourself, you don't just change your life. You finally come home to yourself. Falling in love with yourself is not something that happens overnight. It doesn't arrive like a sudden spark or a dramatic moment. It begins quietly, almost unnoticed, like the first time you start listening to your own thoughts without judging them. For so long, you may have searched for validation in others, hoping someone would see your worth, appreciate your efforts, and remind you that you matter. But the truth is, the moment you begin to see yourself through your own eyes instead of the world's expectations, something shifts deep within you. It feels unfamiliar at first. You start noticing the way you talk to yourself in difficult moments. Instead of harsh criticism, you slowly replace it with patience. Instead of blaming yourself for every mistake, you begin to understand that growth comes from those very imperfections. Just like in any love story, there are moments of doubt, moments where you question whether you are enough, whether you deserve kindness, whether you are worthy of your own belief. And yet, you stay. That is where self-love begins. Not in perfection, but in presence. You begin to appreciate the small victories that once went unnoticed, the effort you put in when no one was watching, the strength you showed when you felt like giving up, the courage it took just to keep going. These are the moments that slowly build a connection with yourself, a bond that becomes stronger over time. You start to treat yourself differently. You give yourself the same care you would offer to someone you deeply love. You allow yourself to rest without guilt. You forgive yourself for past mistakes instead of carrying them like a burden. You become more gentle, more understanding, more aware of your own needs and emotions. It's a quiet transformation, but a powerful one. Because as you continue this journey, you realize that confidence is not something you need to chase anymore. It grows naturally from the way you see yourself, from the way you choose yourself every single day. Self-doubt is a quiet presence. It doesn't always arrive with noise or chaos. Sometimes it whispers softly, planting thoughts that slowly begin to shape the way you see yourself. It tells you that you are not ready, not capable, not deserving of the things you dream about. And the most dangerous part is not that it exists, but that you begin to believe it without even realizing it. In the story of loving yourself, self-doubt becomes the distance between who you are and who you could be. It creates hesitation where there should be courage, silence where there should be expression. It makes you question your worth even when you have every reason to stand tall. Like a relationship filled with uncertainty, it pulls you back just when you are ready to move forward. There are moments when you feel it the most, when you are about to take a risk, when you are stepping into something new, when you are close to becoming a better version of yourself. That's when self-doubt tightens its grip, reminding you of past failures, replaying every mistake, making you relive the times you felt not enough. It convinces you that staying where you are is safer than trying and possibly failing again. And so, you hesitate. You begin to hold back your thoughts, your ideas, your true self. You start comparing your journey with others, measuring your progress against their success, forgetting that your path was never meant to look like theirs. The more you listen to that inner voice, the more it begins to control your actions, slowly weakening the belief you once had in yourself. But even in the presence of doubt, something within you continues to resist. A small voice, almost hidden, reminds you that you are capable of more. It reminds you of the times you succeeded, the strength you have already shown, the battles you have already faced. And in those moments, you are given a choice, to listen to the fear that limits you, or to trust the part of you that still believes. Because self-doubt may be part of your story, but it does not have to define the way you love yourself. Healing your past is one of the most delicate parts of learning how to believe in yourself. It's not just about forgetting what happened or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about facing those moments with honesty, understanding, and a kind of compassion you may have never given yourself before. Because deep within every doubt you carry, there is often a memory, a moment, or a voice from the past that made you question your worth. Sometimes it was a failure that stayed with you longer than it should have. Sometimes it was someone's words that cut deeper than they realized. Sometimes it was the silence, the absence of support when you needed it the most. These experiences don't just disappear with time, they settle quietly within you, shaping the way you see yourself and the way you approach the world. In a love story, trust is everything. And when it comes to believing in yourself, that trust can only grow when you stop fighting your past and start understanding it. You begin by acknowledging what hurt you instead of hiding it. You allow yourself to feel the emotions you once pushed away. Not to stay in that pain, but to release it slowly, piece by piece. There is a certain strength in looking back and saying, that moment hurt me, but it does not control me anymore. It's in that realization that something begins to change. You stop blaming yourself for things that were never entirely your fault. You stop carrying guilt that doesn't belong to you. You begin to separate who you are from what you went through. As you heal, you also rebuild. You replace old beliefs with new ones, stronger ones. You remind yourself that one mistake does not define your entire story, that one rejection does not determine your value. You start trusting yourself again, not because everything is perfect now, but because you understand that you are capable of growing beyond what once broke you. It becomes a quiet promise to yourself, to never let your past convince you that you are unworthy of your own belief. Believing in yourself is not a one-time decision, it is a daily emotional commitment, much like choosing to love someone through every mood, every challenge, and every uncertainty. It asks for your attention, your patience, and your consistency. Because just like any meaningful relationship, the connection you have with yourself needs to be nurtured every single day. There are mornings when you wake up feeling strong, certain, and ready to face the world. In those moments, believing in yourself feels natural, almost effortless. But then there are days when everything feels heavier, when your energy is low, your thoughts are clouded, and your confidence begins to fade. It is in these moments that the real commitment reveals itself. Choosing to believe in yourself on difficult days is where the depth of that connection is built. It's in the small decisions you make when no one is watching. The way you push yourself to take one more step, even when you feel like stopping. The way you remind yourself that a bad day does not define your entire journey. The way you speak to yourself with encouragement instead of doubt, even when your mind tries to pull you in the opposite direction. This kind of belief is not about constant positivity or pretending everything is perfect. It is about showing up for yourself honestly. It's about acknowledging your struggles without letting them take control. It's about understanding that your worth does not decrease on the days you feel weak or uncertain. Just like love requires effort, presence, and care, so does self-belief. You invest in it by setting boundaries that protect your peace, by surrounding yourself with things that uplift your spirit, by giving yourself the time and space to grow at your own pace. You stop rushing your progress and start appreciating the journey, even when it feels slow. And slowly, this daily commitment transforms into something steady and reliable. It becomes a quiet strength within you, a feeling that no matter what happens, you will not abandon yourself, you will not walk away from your own potential, you will continue choosing yourself, again and again, in ways both small and significant. The strongest love is not the one that depends on circumstances, nor the one that fades when things become difficult. The strongest love is the one that remains, even when everything else feels uncertain. And when it comes to believing in yourself, this kind of love becomes your greatest source of strength, the kind that never walks away, never gives up on you, no matter how many times you stumble. There are moments in life when people leave, when support disappears, when the encouragement you once relied on is no longer there. In those moments, it becomes clear how important it is to have something within you that stays constant. Something that does not break under pressure, something that does not disappear in the face of failure. That something is your own belief in yourself. It is the voice that tells you to stand up again after you fall. It is the quiet reassurance that even if the world turns away, you still have yourself to rely on. This kind of love is not loud or dramatic, it is steady, patient, and deeply rooted within you. It does not demand perfection from you. It only asks that you do not abandon yourself in moments of weakness. There is a different kind of strength in knowing that you are enough for yourself. Not in a way that isolates you from others, but in a way that grounds you. It allows you to face challenges without constantly seeking approval. It gives you the courage to walk your own path, even when it feels lonely. You begin to realize that external validation can come and go, but the way you see yourself has the power to shape your entire reality. When you trust yourself, when you stand by your own side, you create a foundation that cannot easily be shaken. You stop fearing rejection the way you once did, because you know that rejection from others does not mean rejection from yourself. And in that realization, you find a kind of peace that is rare, a quiet confidence that stays with you through every phase of life, reminding you that no matter where you go, no matter what you face, there is one connection that will always remain.